Linda Morell, welcome to Booktopia.
Thank you so much, John. It's great to be here.
Now, you've had a long history in your family of writing. How far
Yes.
back does your writing sort of DNA go?
Oh, nearly 200 years. So my great-great-great-great-grandfather, James Atkinson, wrote his book back in 1826. And it was a kind of like a how to do it manual. It was one of the first books written about Australia. So yeah, 1826.
That's a pretty long time, but there also was a kid's book somewhere back then.
There was. So my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Charlotte Atkinson, wrote the very first children's book that was ever published in Australia, and that was back in 1841. So she was married to James, so they were both writers.
So when you entered the world of writing, did you know this, or was this something that just came out later on in
No,
family law?
I always felt like I knew it, but apparently it was discovered when I was a child, and so I feel like I've known it since I was born, but actually I couldn't have because it was discovered, I think when I was about 10 or 12, I think. But yes, it was something that we always talked about in our family, so I was always very proud of that.
And you come from a writing family in this contemporary era too, your sister and your brother.
Absolutely, yes. So my sister is Kate Forsyth, so she's written something like 35 books, everything from picture books to really fabulous adult books. And my brother Nick Humphrey is a lawyer, and so he writes books about tax and real estate and business. But no, he's also a very successful author as well. So yeah, we kind of all talk about books and love books, and we've always been book mad, I'd say.
And your writing history goes back 20 years, is it?
Well, I've actually been writing since I was about 8 years old. So, as a child, I always wrote and write through. And after uni, I worked as a freelance journalist, a travel writer, a technical writer. But my first book was published about 9 years ago. So I started writing for my own children about sort of 11 or 12 years ago. And my first book was published about 9 years ago.
And you've seen some great success, but nothing as big as Lulubelle.
Absolutely. It's so exciting to see it being so successful. It's just really, really such a thrill. I love all my books, but I'm very fond of Lulu, and it's great to have that opportunity to develop a character over this 13 books now.
And how did Lulu come into being?
Well, it was, I was just deciding that I wanted to write a book for younger children because I'd written my Time Slip series, which is probably for 10 to 14-year-olds, and I decided I wanted to write something that was just a little bit younger. And I talked to my niece about what she loved about books. She's book mad as well. And she said that she loved books about friends and family and animals. And immediately I just went, oh, I know, I'm going to write a series about a girl growing up in a vet hospital. And so it's about an 8-year-old girl called Lulu, and she's the eldest in her family, and they're a pretty quirky sort of family. And they're living in the vet, right behind the vet hospital. And that was based on my childhood growing up because my dad was a vet, and we lived right behind the vet hospital for a lot of my childhood.
That's amazing. Yeah. So can we find other members of your family in the books? Like are they sort of sketch?
Definitely. So Lulu is the eldest child in the family, so she's very practical, very caring. I think she's a little bit like I was as a kid, blonde hair, brown eyes. And then she has a little sister called Rosie, who's really dreamy and creative and imaginative, a lot like my sister Kate. And then she has a little brother, and Gus is really, really naughty. He's just always naughty. He's really cute. I actually love really naughty kids. And my brother Nick was just so wild and so naughty. And so I think Gus is very much inspired by my brother. So it is inspired by my family, but it's also inspired by my family now, my own children and my own pets and things like that. So it's kind of like a lovely mishmash of childhood and adventures and things like that.
So if any parents are out there listening now, what sort of age group do you think Lulubelle should be aimed at?
Well, I think it's for kids sort of aged about 6 to 9, but I know there's lots of kids who are younger than that whose their parents read it to them and they absolutely love it, and they dress up as Gus or they dress up as Rosie and Lulu, and they send me photographs of themselves all dressed up, which is really fun. But I also have some kids that are quite older, even as high as high school, that say, I know I'm too old to read this, but I love them so much that I just can't give them up. So, yeah, but basically 6 to 9-year-olds.
I've been selling books for years, and one of the things I don't like to do too much is these books are for this age group because of that people can read things whenever they want to read things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's for particularly enjoyed by kids who are just developing that independent reading, so that they're moving on from the very simple readers and they want something that's a little bit more challenging but really fun and adventurous, and about a girl who's brave and bold, and she's a great character.
That's very good. If you're creating new readers for us, you're creating new customers for us.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I can help.
Linda Morell, thank you very much for joining us at Booktopia TV.
Absolute pleasure, John. Thank you.
All of Belinda's books are available from booktopia.com.au right now.